BookTok's hit Dungeons & Dragons romance would be perfect for a Netflix adaptation, as the platform would be able to showcase the full breadth of the story well. Many romance books on BookTok occupy the romantasy space, adding in fantasy elements and world-building to further complicate the classic genre's beats. However, one popular BookTok book leans more into the romance while still having those fantastical elements, albeit more distantly, as the fantasy comes not from being in a new world, but through the tabletop staple Dungeons & Dragons. Dungeons & Drama by Christy Boyce follows musical-loving high schooler Riley, who, after taking an ill-advised joyride, is forced to work in her father's game store. Much like most romance books, conflict arises from a mixture of miscommunication and misunderstanding, leaving Riley to pretend that she is dating her coworker Nathan, who seemingly wants nothing to do with her. The comedic beats, rich characters, and fun additions of Dungeons & Dragons mechanics not only make the story engaging but also make this BookTok hit ripe for an adaptation by Netflix. BookTok's hit Dungeons & Dragons romance is ripe for an adaptation. Dungeons & Drama's formatting could easily fit on Netflix. Dungeons & Drama by Christy Boyce. BookTok's Dungeons & Dragons romance is ripe for a Netflix adaptation, as the story already fits Netflix's formatting as well as its general approach to high school romance stories. The novel is a standalone, so turning it into a movie would be easy for the platform as the story is self-contained, even with the several small time skips throughout. Dungeons & Drama would also work as a series, as many of the chapters are substantial enough to move the story along but connected enough that interweaving several together would not take away from the story's flow. Alongside of the formatting, the narrative itself fits Netflix's overall feel when it comes to romance stories set in high school. The protagonists are sassy and a bit eccentric, but in a way that makes them intriguing and amplifies the humor. The chemistry between the two leads is also strong but plagued by realistic issues for that age group, making the ending all the sweeter. Netflix has already captured that same essence Dungeons & Drama has in other properties, allowing it to be both a great continuation and an intersection of Netflix's biggest hits in romance and other genres. Dungeons & Drama is the perfect intersection of Netflix's biggest hits. Netflix's flagship series has strong ties to Dungeons & Dragons. Dungeons & Drama is the perfect intersection of Netflix's hits, as it combines the traditional romantic beats with the nostalgia created by its flagship series. Many of Netflix's biggest rom-coms are adaptations, such as the To All the Boys I Loved Before movies, the Kissing Booth franchise, and Love at First Sight. This adaptation fits into that side of Netflix's brand, especially as the references to musical numbers and Weird Al covers would result in another Netflix title with a fun playlist. That being said, Dungeons & Drama would also allow Netflix to intersect that romance catalog with Stranger Things. Stranger Things is not only Netflix's flagship series, but is also irrevocably connected to Dungeons & Dragons. While it is a romance over a fantasy title, Dungeons & Drama's adaptation would let Netflix tip its hat to the property that helped it gain popularity with audiences, intersecting it with one of the genres that the platform continues to invest in. Not only that, but the adaptation would allow Netflix to keep its romance adaptation streak strong while adding in a new twist as this funny and heartwarming story unfolds.